I want to add on to our absolute value lesson. So we're going to practice writing different types of absolute values. So the first part we want to do is focus on the absolute value. So we're going to draw our lines to represent absolute value. And then the rest of it we put inside -3. So the absolute value of -3 is represented like that. And then it would be 3 units away from 0. So the next one says the absolute value. So we draw our absolute value lines of 3. So I just put 3 inside my absolute value lines, which is also 3 units away from 0. These next ones are going to look a little trickier. So it's going to say the opposite of the absolute value of 3. So I want us to just focus on this ending part. So let's get our absolute value lines of 3. So 3 goes inside. The absolute value of 3 is 3. But then we need the opposite of that. So we're going to put a negative sign out in front of the absolute value lines. So here's another one. It says the absolute value of -3. So I get my absolute value lines. -3 goes inside. The absolute value of -3 is 3 units to get to 0, but then I need the opposite of that. So the opposite of the absolute value of -3. Let's look at another set of those. So here we have the opposite of the absolute value of -7. So I'm going to start with my absolute value of -7. So I'll put -7 inside those lines. And then I need the opposite of that. Okay, next we have the absolute value of 7. So I just place 7 inside. Next is the absolute value of -7. So I place -7 inside. And then last, we're going to do the absolute value of 7, but we want the opposite of that. So I place the opposite sign outside of those absolute value lines. So hopefully that will help clear up some of those questions.